Incremental routines. I want to share with you how future-proof Supermemo is in the sense that you could migrate to a different tool. So you can take this into consideration when you use Supermemo, and then more in detail how you can actually import staff, or in case you ever want to migrate your collection, how you will achieve that. I have old videos that I exported my English collection and all of this, I think a few years ago. But long story short, you have this export and a few options. Everything is lossy. Every single option you are losing information. The best, especially for items, if you want the flashcards, will be XML. Let's do an example. I will do glossary of the Supermemo repository. So I right click, export, and in this case, XML. You can also press F8. Always, absolutely always, check export images, and in case you use sound as well, in this case that is redundant for me, because I'm not using sound. Export ordinals, that's optional, but it could be useful for metadata. And for extra redundancy, I also suggest create storage. It's not required, but it makes stuff a lot easier, especially if you're not tech savvy. And don't remove anything else. You want to keep the HTML. You can name it. In this case, for me, it's a good name. And by default, this opens. In this case, in Edge, it will be good enough. So in case you don't know, this is an XML file, so you have the text. It's very structured, it's super easy to parse. So you have 464 elements. And here you have the hierarchy. That is the same as this. First I have the root. You see the ancestor registry. If you see the ancestors window, is root, the concept element, then glossary, that is a folder, and then the first one. The first child, that is also a folder, and then eventually I will have yet another topic, oh my god, and then finally the item. Nice. So I have everything the same here. I have this, what is this? This is the root, the first element in my collection. Then I have the concept, this fella here, this one. Then the first folder, that includes one glossary. Nice. Then the genuine topic that I extracted from. Then I make a second level of extract, it's yet another topic. And finally here I have an item. As you can see, this looks weird. That's how it is now. So it says SM is my convention as a tag that I know it's about Supermemo. A factor stands for blank factor. Yeah, absolute factor. Cool. So you have here, it's the same. But wait, in this case it's not present here because it's an HTML component. It's not an HTML component. Here you go. I detached the template. So now I see this. Those are the references. The link, I have taken this, the source, date, and so on. Cool. This information is extracted? Yes, it is. In plain text, by the way, is how it's rendered here. So at least I have title, date of import, the source, the link, and all of that, the Supermemo reference. So, hey, good news. The reference is inside the question. So if I import this to Anki or whatever place, I can get this reference. Then the answer, just plain and simple. And then I have the learning data, the current interval, the amount of repetitions, the amount of lapses. This is the information you will see here, 5 reps. I haven't lapsed anything. And the current interval, 2 years and something. Not only that, the last repetition, the current A factor and U factor. This perhaps is not here. You'll need to go to the element data window. Here you have the U factor and the A factor. Nice. This is the current state. But we also have the repetition history. This is what you see here. We have grade, interval, priority, difficulty, stability, retrievability, and the amount of postpones. Let's see if I got all of this. You have the title, I don't know why, but it could be useful to double check that hey, it's actually the same item. And you have this. For this element number, the repetition number 5 and 0 lapses. Remember that after 0 lapse, the repetition is reset. The repetition count is reset. You have the date, the hour. That's the interval. Great. That is a default. Option number 3. The priority at repetition time, which doesn't have to be the same that is currently present. And in this case, is a good example, because now it's 74%. The amount of postpones at repetition time, we have this, as well as difficulty, and the desired exponential for getting in index 15. The MBR is a line break, and that's the next repetition. I have plenty of information, but not everything. I do not have stability or rotatability, those two. Perhaps can be inferred with this. Here is 9, could be. And here is 18. At least is some information, but most of what you want is actually there. Let's see what happens with topics. I have the content, in this case it's just all of this. And with the references, yes. But do I get the repetitions? Let's actually do it a lot easier. So we only export like just a handful of topics. Let's use this one. Let's use this one. Sleeping position. Okay, I only have the automatic repetition. So in this case, I will force the repetition. And now I have one rep. Nice. Let's see if I only export itself, there's no hierarchy down. It'll be really, really easy. Nice. In this case, it's a long topic, so there's a ton of text. Look at that, I even have the CSS. Okay. So I have the ID of the element and the ordinal, which is not the same thing. I won't cover this in this video. I have the content. Nice. The question? Yes, I do. What happened? There were folders and they had no repetition history. So likely, I also have the data from topics. Repetitions, the U factor, A factor, and so on. And for topics, I have lapses will always be 0, but is exported like with the same syntax. Date, hour, the interval, and grade. What on earth is this? Grade 10. You note that items, you have grade number 0 or null, is not shown in the interface, and 1 to 5. So you have 6 grades. Well, you can also have more grades. The automatic repetition, the forget repetition, the dismissed repetition, and so on. So those codes refer to this. 9, I think that's the automatic, and 10 is what I did, is that I forced the repetition. Without entering the details, which is which, at least I'm keeping this. That's what I'm focusing on now. But wait a second. What template are they using? What concept they have set? That's not present. If I go here, I see it's using the article template and the root concept. That's not present in the XML file. To simplify, for topics, if you only have one component, one HTML component, you're good to go. It's just about cosmetics, how the CSS will be applied. For items, will be one question, one answer. If you have more than this, that you create other components that have text, it will be problematic. If that's the case, what I will suggest is that you go to the registry, you select, let's say, article picture, browse, and then with this, I will export this to a file. So then I guarantee that each file, I know exactly what template they are using and what you can expect. Oh yeah, this is about two text components here, or even 3, or whatever. Let's actually do that, because now I have one image. So export an XML file. And this is how it looks. I have the question. Question means the first text component or HTML component in the topic. And now we have, in this case, an image. So you have the absolute value, the absolute URL, of the image and its name. Fantastic. If you have sound, you also will have this sound here. And if it's shown, you will know if it's shown in the answer time or not. So if you ever use Anki like he did, you could keep, hey, this image is meant to be shown on the back side, not the front side. Nice. So what is not being exported? View, link list. If I have more than one, let's actually do it. Concepts, link concept, and I will link science. View and link list. I won't be able to see this link. This is not being exported. Then the actual hierarchy, if you see the ancestors, yeah, I can know that, even though it's not explicitly set in the element itself. With programming, I know that because I can crawl this, walk through the XML file, and I know that, hey, this is the parent, this topic. Then touch the next ancestor, until I got to my element, until I get to my item. So I could get, hey, that is root 2021 cybernetics. It's not one-on-one conversion. I'm still working on that, by the way, to convert this to Anki. You could get this as a tag, so you get all of the hierarchy from the knowledge tree. So the information required is already there. In a different way, but it's there. It can be achieved. So then, the next question is how you do achieve what's not on the XML file. There are several ways that I can see it, and none of them is a good solution. One is that for you could do an AutoHotkey script that clicks every single element that you want to export. So what I will do is a script that will press Ctrl-Shift-P. It will get the information here. Hey, that's the actual template I'm using. So if I have the article picture is meant to look like this, I will know that. The information I want from here, and even the comment, if I want to check the comment, which is also, again, not exported, by the way, because this is from a different registry. Nice. Or I could do Ctrl-G if I only want the element number. If you remember, there was one option to get this number, and this is when it comes in handy. I will use this as an ID, and with AutoHotkey script, I could get like a table that, hey, one column will be this ID, the element number. Because the element number is found in the file, yeah, you have the ID and the ordinal. So you can have this one. So you use not the ID, but the ordinal number to match for this extra information that remains in Supermemo. So now, hey, I know this ID. So now I will do the script that now checks this. So it does Alt V K, then get the elements here. Oh, this is the science, and get the ID of that other element. In this case, a concept. And I can reproduce those links later. And then I assign, hey, this number, this element, or this element also uses this template and has this concept. So I will do Ctrl-Shift-P, Alt-G, this selects, so I already know the text is selected. Escape, Alt-T, I already have the title. In this case, it's article. It could be article picture, multiple choice, occlusion, or whatever. And then once it's done, it will go navigate to the next element. And this can be achieved by starting the script on the entire thing. Or all of the elements that I want to export. So in this case, I only want to export, let's say, all of my keyboard shortcuts. So we'll open this to the browser, and then it will crawl this. So we'll click this one, it will open all of the windows, get the information. In this case, has no concept group, the item template, no comment, check the links that there are, no lists, okay, skip, and then the next one. And I will repeat this one by one. So get the information here, this window, this window, this window, next, this window, this window, this window. And it will be copying this to a CSV file, for instance. So you could leave this overnight, and every few seconds you will get one element, like this. And you could add this information within a script with the XML file you have. Strictly speaking, this can be achieved. If you're not tech savvy and you only want to click on the interface, you'll lose concepts, templates, links, and the hierarchy, where in the knowledge tree it is. And for repetitions, the stability and retrievability, that I'm not sure if can be calculated, but it's not a big deal, because you only want to know the current one, if you will, or even know, because if you use another app, this data will be meaningless. You won't be using this. So as long as you know the current interval, previous intervals, and if it was a passing or failing rate, that's more than enough. This is how Supermemo is, if it's future-proof or not. Since I'm not sure that all of this, perhaps, now it's the next step, that, okay, I was able to export that. I have an information of all of the links and so on. Do I have an app, a software, that I can import this? So I could adjust with programming in a script. I may amend the syntax, how information is structured. To my knowledge, no. So, okay, good to know that it's related to this, but it had this concept, but at least you could do some conventions. So, for instance, if I have one, the other topic as before, sleeping positions, I could make the convention that, hey, this is the root concept, and it had comments. So why do you see this comment here? So at least I have it in plain text in that element. If it's not exported in the relationship because the app doesn't work the same, but what I did stays there, at least in plain text. But yeah, this is still not possible. Someone has to do this script. So if you are strict, like I do, only take into consideration what can be exported like this into a file. So let me know if you are interested in that. I'm actually I'm working on the export. I actually did with Advanced English Collection. But there are some details that are above my grade. For instance, converting the hierarchy to a tag. Even though it's very easy for a programmer, I failed after many hours. I don't want to spend more time with this. Please, if you're interested and you know how to code, please get in touch with me and let's create the code with Python to do this conversion. Hope this has been useful, and nothing more to add today. See you incrementally.